Guys, so what is up? So today we are working on the truck, which is what we do in every video. We're fixing a few things on the truck in preparation for our road trip on Friday, which is the day that you guys are going to be seeing this. We are going to Ohio. We're going to be meeting up with JC Smith and picking up our next venture on this project. So be sure to stay tuned for that video. In the last video, you heard me mention on our trip to Canada, we had a few issues. And so we've kind of been working through fixing them. We actually had the opportunity to go to Canada and meet up with Rich and Aaron from DeBoss Garage. If you haven't heard of them, I'll leave a link in the description. They did a whole video on the truck. I know a lot of people have been asking me for driving clips and that kind of stuff. So if you want to see a professionally done video, they haven't posted it yet, but go to his channel, hang out, and wait for that video to be posted. What else are you gonna do? I mean, everything's shut down. So if you're new to the channel or you missed it in the video series when we built the truck, I chased for the longest time what I thought was a fuel leak. We were having issues with the truck starting. It would start and then die, and it would take forever to start again. To me, it sounded like a air leak. So the fuel was draining back to the tank, and it would start and run off the fuel that was in the head and then die. I did a lot of changing things in that time to try to fix and find this air leak that did not exist. We actually ended up changing the oil pump because this is a Huey engine, and for some reason our oil pump had gone bad and it was losing its prime, and it was just taking forever for it to prime. So we put a brand new oil pump in the truck. But one of the things that we did do is I added a small electric lift pump and a small fuel filter. All right, so we added a small fuel filter right here. It's an inline style filter, and I just wanted to have that there because I built the tank and I didn't want any metal shavings and stuff going through the little electric fuel pump that I put in. The issue we had was my fuel gelled on the way up to Canada. The lift pump on the engine creates a lot of suction, and it actually completely collapsed this filter. When we checked it, it was maybe like half an inch tall, and you see how much filter media there is right there. So it basically plugged our entire fuel system. We were about halfway there, and it wouldn't climb hills. It had no power, shaking and all that. And I think that this is a source of restriction. Same with that filter or that pump down there. They're not really needed. There's a lift pump on the truck that works. It works very well because when I went to change out this filter, I loosened that hose clamp and it went. So I went and got a 1/2 inch fuel line. We already went ahead and ran it front to back. And so today we're going to be getting that hooked up, get it full of fuel. I'm planning on leaving the old fuel line in here for now. That way, if we have an issue or something, we can just flip right back over to the way it was. I also went ahead and got myself a fresh air filter. Went with the blue one this time, so we're gonna get that in. We're also gonna see if we can patch that hole in the floor. All right, so our new line is completely on now. What I did was I held it down low and allowed the fuel to come up in the line until I could just about see it at the end there. Put my thumb over it, slammed it on quick, so there is a little bit of air in here, but it should be able to push that through no problem. All right, let's go ahead and disable our fuel pump. Okay. Let's go ahead and fire it up and bleed the air out of the system. So yeah, we'll let it run for a minute, make sure all the air is out of the system. You can see in the sight glass there was no air in there at all, so awesome. Let's go ahead and swap out this rusty air filter. Maybe help it breathe a little bit. Ooh. Ah! I usually like to throw the filter on the ground before I put it in. That way it just, make sure it's nice and dirty. It would help if I was using the right size wrench. It's not going anywhere. All right, new air filter is in. And you always want to face it so that people can see that you run the highest quality Spectre air filter. The blue's a nice touch too, I love that. All right guys, so we went ahead and made ourselves this nice patch panel here. Very high tech. I'd like to thank today's sponsor of the video. So this should do the trick. It's a temporary fix. This isn't permanent. I had to cut the hole in that fender liner because of where the coolant reservoir was. I was trying to get it to fit that in the battery box. So maybe when we tear everything apart, I can't say that. Down the road we'll fix this issue permanently, but for now this is going to be our fix, and hopefully that'll keep all the road dirt and debris and water and deer guts out of the air filter. So let's get this installed. All right. Pretty simple yet effective. I might throw a couple of bolts or something through that just to make sure it's not gonna go anywhere, but look at that. That is beautiful. All right, so our new fuel line is in, the new air filter's in. I think we're just about ready to go. We're gonna be hauling a lot of weight back. We should probably make sure it's ready to go. Let's go see if it's up for the challenge. 10,040 pounds empty. A little more. Fill it right up. 17,900. Alright guys, that's going to be a wrap for this video. I think we're about as ready as we're ever going to be for this trip. That was about 7,900 pounds of topsoil that we just hauled. Definitely going to be a smoother ride on the way home, hopefully. Ride quality wise anyway. The only other things I want to do before we hit the road, I want to hit all the grease zerks, put a little grease and everything, and just do a quick nut and bolt check and make sure everything's still tight. I want to give a huge shout out to JC Smith for sending a bunch of you guys my way. I appreciate everyone that came and checked it out, and everyone that hit that subscribe button. So thank you to him, and thank you to all of you for checking out the channel here and what we got going on. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't heard of JC Smith, I'll leave his link in the description. Go ahead and check him out. Please subscribe, it really helps us out. I don't know how it helps us out, but somehow it makes me feel better about myself. Be sure to stay tuned so you don't miss our trip to Ohio, and see what we come back with. We'll catch you in the next one.